Do you ever feel like you're working to all hours and still not getting done? There's just never enough time. Well, Microsoft just published some data that shows that workers essentially are spending 2 days at work each week fully on meetings and emails. 2 whole days. That's eating up a lot of time where you want to be working on your projects. You want to be advancing your goals. You want to be getting your tasks done, but you can't because you're sucked into 10 back to back Zoom meetings a day. So Jason Spatara, who headed up the research, he's at Microsoft, he's head of the modern work group. And he said that workers really feel like they've got two jobs. The one job is the job, but the other job is all this communicating and collaborating and coordinating, all of which are good. It's just that it's showing that the output, the outcomes from those aren't really commensurate with all the time that's going in to all those meetings and all those emails. It's like all of that time isn't necessarily improving workplace communication. So let's look at 3 ways that you've got to pay attention to and make some headway in if you're going to rescue your time back and rescue yourself in the process. First, if you feel like your time is just slipping through the cracks at work, you're not even sure where it goes, and you're not able to actually get your work done because there just doesn't seem to be enough time, meetings are your number one culprit. Meetings, I remember 20 years ago, there being articles on meetings, the great corporate casualties, and they last too long and they're sucking everyone's time from actually getting the job done. And it's amazing that we haven't made headway in that time because the stats show that now meetings are still one of the biggest time stealers. So here's 3 guidelines that you want to use. Number 1, don't go to the meeting unless they have made it abundantly clear the purpose of the meeting and the purpose of you being there, and that both of them are a good purpose. Secondly, ask if there can be a time limit put on the meeting. So usually we have 60-minute meetings. Why can't we make them 45? Usually we have 30-minute meetings. Why can't we make 20-minute meetings? Cutting the time down will force everyone to get miraculously more effective and more productive in terms of their use of time in the meeting. And then third is if your company doesn't have a policy, like so many companies, Calendly is one of the most recent companies that said, here's a day during the week that we do not have meetings, or we do not have meetings from this time to this time each day so that people can focus on their work. If that is not in place at your place of work, bring it up and look at the stats. They're all over the internet on the large companies that are making that choice and setting those parameters to protect people's time and to enable them to get work done. Second, if you're trying to find more time at work to actually get your projects done and get your tasks done, you've got to master email. Here are 3 ways that email is eating up people's time and what you can do about it. First, people are tending to spend a long time on emails that could have been so much faster if they just picked up the phone. So rather than work on the crafting and work on all the wording and okay, format to make, okay, no, I should use bullets here because this is kind of complicated. So how am I pick up the phone and have the thing done in 2 minutes rather than the 10 minutes that you're going to be spending on the email. Secondly, you're going to avoid the back and forth. There's so much back and forth in emails when all you had to do was to think rather than just say, yes, I'm available next week. And then they have to come back and say, what are your available times? Is just to say, yes, I'm available next week. Here are my times. The back and forth takes up way too much time with email. And third, you want to be thinking about the chains that get forwarded. These forwarding chains, so I just say, I forward to somebody and I say, see below. Now that's going to eat up their time where they have to read through all the chain to find the thing that relates to them. So instead, when you forward a chain, you're going to do a summation at the top and then put a call to action, a CTA of whatever you're asking of them for them to pay attention to and for them to do as a result. Third, if you feel like you have no idea where all the time goes at work and you're trying to carve out time to actually finish your work, then you want to avoid distractions and you want to get serious about it. 3 quick ways to do that. Number 1 is to make a list, always make a list and prioritize it. What do I need to be working on? What's on my list? And what do I need to do first, second, and third? So you don't waste time on those things that would have been fifth It's great that you got it done, but you didn't get the most important thing done. Secondly, you're going to set your office hours so that, and in your calendar, people will see, there's blank time, and they set a meeting. Instead, you're going to give yourself office hours. Call them whatever you want. Meeting with myself, call them whatever you want. But you've got to protect your time so that you can get those projects done. And then third, you're going to think about all the devices. I mean, you've got a screen over there, and you've got the phone over there, and you've got these blinking messages just come through. Messages just come through. The stats on if you allow yourself to be distracted and then coming back, the stats on how long it takes your brain to come back to focus. You think you're coming right back to focus, you're actually not, because now your brain is moving more sluggishly on this thing that you're trying to get refocused on. So turn stuff off so that you can get what's in front of you done. So if you want to save time at work and you want to really prioritize time for your actual job, the actual work that you're responsible for executing on, then take a close look at your meetings, take a close look at your emails, and take a close look at the distractions that are grabbing for your attention all the time, and see how you can improve your use of all three of those, improve your use of meetings and of emails, and cut down on those distractions so you can get yourself back the time that you need to get your job done.